Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Pokemon Showdown battle, and in this one I have a 2-in-1 episode because I really need to get some of the links off of my WordPad. It's really crowded, so let's get into the battle, shall we? I'm going to send in my Excadrill. I'm on the bottom left, and my opponent sends in his Talonflame. I'm going to have to switch out because I need Excadrill's health intact, and the best thing to wall a Talonflame is of course Rotom Wash. So, oh, I'm sorry about that. Um, Talonflame goes for the Braver and whatnot. I actually wall both of its tabs. That's why Rotom Wash is OU along with Talonflame. It's like a love and hate situation. So my opponent sends in his Rotom, and I switch out into my Breloom because I can do some damage with Bullet Seed. Now, my opponent goes for the Pain Split. Not that significant, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go for the substitute because I predict a Will-O-Wisp actually, but my opponent instead goes for the switch, so I have an intact sub. So anyway, I go for the Bullet Seed. It's not gonna do much, but I'm gonna have to switch out. I at least break Dragonite's multi-scale, and my opponent goes for the Extreme Speed, which means I will be kicking the Dragonite's ass next turn. But my opponent is intimidated by Florges, switches out into Scizor, and takes the Moonblast relatively well. So I'm going to switch out here because Scizor is the most annoying thing in the world, and its annoying stab is something that completely walls me. So my opponent goes for the Acrobatics, not that it matters, and it's not a good option because you do have the Scissorite, so it does count as having an item. So I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to switch the hell out of there because there's nothing I can do against Rotom Wash unless he was switching in to one of my Earthquakes, which means I could have taken him out. So Hydro Pump is not going to be doing a whole lot to Florges because, come on, it is Florges. It is ridiculously powerful. So Discharge goes off, I go for the Wish, and I get most of my health back next turn where my opponent goes into Mega Scizor. Did I mention that Mega Scizor looks like Attack Form Deoxys' retarded cousin? So I get the Wish off to my Breloom, and I switch out because I needed him at full health. So my opponent is going to go for the Acrobatics here, and it's going to do completely nothing to Excadrill because I walled that son of a gun. So anyway, my opponent's going to switch out into Rotom, but the thing is that my Excadrill is a Mold Breaker, which means that Rotom Wash will die to an Earthquake unless it has an Air Balloon. So I'm back at full health, which is great. Now, in comes Machamp. I do not want to be dealing with that son of a gun because that thing is completely ridiculously powerful. Going for the Dynamic Punch, I am now confused. There's nothing I can do, and I am going to slap my face with Confusion, and I'm going to switch into Florges. I'm going to sack my Florges because there's nothing I can do with it anymore. So, I'm going to send in Talonflame because Talonflame. That's the reason actually. So my opponent, switches into my Stealth Rocks, but I managed to kill the opposing Talonflame with a Brave Bird, which means I won't have to be dealing with that thing. But there is a Snorlax in the way, and I'm going to have to switch out because I do not like Snorlax at all. So my opponent's going to go for the Retaliate and completely take out my Rotom Wash. So I'm going to go for the Mach Punch to see how much it does, but that thing is so bulky and so fatty that actually things are not going well here. I'm down to my 3 last Pokemon. All I have left is to kill this thing with an Iron Head, and actually I succeed, which is great. So that thing goes down. All he has left to deal with is his Dragonite, so he's going to go for the Waterfall, which is kind of a weird move. So I'm going to go for the Iron Head. My opponent is going to go for another Waterfall, as you will see here. There it is, and he's going to take my Excadrill out. So that can't be good, can it? So I'm going to send in Talonflame. I'm going to go for the Acrobatics, take the Dragonite out. Now the thing is, we're both down to our 2 last Pokemon. He has his Machamp. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird. I'm going to, go pull out all the stops and take out his Scarfed Machamp, which is obviously Scarfed. So Scizor is in. I can go for a Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, but the thing is, I wasn't quite sure how much Bullet Punch would do. I do resist the hit, but however, Talonflame is not the most defensive Pokemon, so my opponent gives in here, gives me a GG, and, kind of ends the battle here. I still had Galvantula with an intact Focus Sash, so I could have killed that Scizor regardless. So, let us move into the second battle. as soon as I hit play in the next turn. So I'm actually kind of enjoying OU actually, and I better start UU. If you're seeing this, Ryan, I will get to UU. You're supposed to help me, remember? So we'll have to get to work. Now, pause me if you will hit play, because some people are actually wanting to see what my battle is about, not a stupid silver screen that has a big play button on it. So if you will, there you go. So I'm going to start with Excadrill again, my Stealth Rocks lead, and I am going to set up my rocks. My opponent is going to go for the Earthquake, however I am fully defensive, which means that I can take at least one, which now means I have to switch out because I predict a second Earthquake, and I need my Rapid Spinner around because Steelix. And anyway, so I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp because these things like to carry Sturdy around, which is a good move because these are very offensive, and if you fall onto a special attacker, you can at least survive one turn with Sturdy. So I needed to get the Will-O-Wisp to break the Sturdy and kill it with a Hydro Pump. Now, the thing with the Bomber Snow is that it completely walls me and shit, so I'm going to switch into Florges, hoping that he is a physical attacking variant, special, sorry. But the thing is that this Bomber Snow, as you will all see, is mixed. So I'm going to get my wish up. My opponent's going to go for the Earthquake, which is kind of weird, and I could have walled that thing with my Rotom, but the thing is that a Bomber Snow is ridiculous. So it has Blizzard, Giga Drain, Earthquake, and I'm assuming that it has Ice Shard for the priority. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast, lower its special attack if I can, but I won't be able to because it's me we're talking about here. So this guy is really wrecking me from the special side. Physical side, because you know Mega Bomber Snow is very offensive both physically and specially. So I'm gonna have to switch the hell out of there because I really don't want to be dealing with that thing. My opponent's gonna go for an Earthquake. I'm gonna be immune to it, and right now I can go for a Will-O-Wisp and completely cripple its Earthquake attacks, but that doesn't mean that I will be able to survive a Giga Drain, which brings him back to almost full HP. But now the good thing is that I can wall him with my Excadrill, because his Earthquake is not that powerful anymore. So I'm going to go for the Iron Head and completely annihilate Mega Bomber Snow. That thing is scary, my god. So whatever comes in next is going to be Rapid Spinned out. I'm going to go switch out into my Florges and take the close combat because I do not want to be dealing with a obvious Scarfed Primate, because that's what Primate is these days. It's usually Choice Scarfed since Gen 4. So I'm going to go for a Mach Punch, and since its defenses are already lowered, it actually helps a lot for me over here. So Grand Bolt comes in, it lowers my attack and completely walls me because it's also part Fairy now, and I'm going to be switching into the Talonflame, and I will not be appreciating that at all because Talonflame is mostly needed for attacking, for very full-on offensives, and I actually kill myself due to a Brave Bird. I mean, Talonflame is very useful and it's got full HP, and Stealth Rocks is something that it does not really appreciate. So I'm going to go for an Iron Head and take out the Grand Bull, which is now super effective because Grand Bull is a very ugly ass fairy. So in comes Octillery, and these things are usually scarfed as well, so I really expected a choice scarf move on his part, but I kinda outspeed him. I lose my Excadrill, but I get the rocks away, which means that Galvantula's Focus Sash will be intact. So I'm going to kill the Octillery with the Volt Switch, and I'm going to be sending in my Breloom. Now, the thing is, Chimecho, I do not know what its stats are, and it's very weird to see a Chimecho in a UU meta, so I'm going to take it out with a Bullet Seed, and that will be the end of the game here. The second match ended again in my favor, so I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. Please tell me if you think that I should change some things around or whatever. So I'll see you guys next time.